What's up, everyone? Welcome to Robles 101, my channel for expression and exploration. Today I'm not going to share a poem, but I would like to share my thoughts on courage, and particularly men having courage. I know this pours into everything, but today it just stood out to me: men having courage, myself having courage, as a father having courage, as a husband having courage. So the past 5 days I was part of this Tony Robbins event called Time to Thrive. It was a free event. You could upgrade to the VIP. I didn't, but I was part of the event, and there were so many monumental things that I took away from it. But the number one thing, not the number one thing, that's a lie. There's so many great things. One thing that just resonated with me was they said having 7 seconds of courage. And I was like, man, that would be great if you could identify that 7 seconds of courage, right? Like, yeah, there it is. Oh no, I better act on it before. Oh no, I better get it. Oh, too late, right? But the reason why I want to talk about this today was because I really experienced it today. This morning I woke up super tired. My youngest one, he wasn't sleeping that well during the night. My wife was the one getting up with him, thank goodness. So she really bore the front end of that. But when your kids, parents out there, you understand when your kids wake up, you wake up, right? Even if you're just like listening out, you just know you get up. But I woke up. My oldest son was up at 4, then 5, so I just got up. Hey, like 5:10, fine, I'm up. My alarm was gonna be set for 5:30, but I got up at 5:10. Took 20 minutes to get my workout stuff on. I was like, okay, I'll go to the gym. And as I was getting dressed, I kept saying, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not feeling it. This isn't good. And then I thought about that 7 seconds of courage thing. The 7 seconds to say, I am going to do something more right now than I would have in the past. So I did it. Went to the gym. That by itself was awesome. I believe that decision totally pivoted my day into a different direction. So I'm grateful for that. On my way home, instead of just coming right home, I was like, let me just go for a 1.5 mile run. So did a 1.5 mile run, right? That was like another thing for me that was brave or courageous because I'm stepping away from my past patterns and beliefs. But it was really, and I really want the fathers and the husbands to hear me on this one, because this is where I think it really shined through today, was my wife and I have been talking about going back to church. It's been a while since we've been talking about it, we've been praying about it. Finally found a great church, and we said, okay, we're going to go. We were going to do it last weekend, but our youngest got sick, so we went to the urgent care. He's fine now, he's great. But then my youngest didn't sleep well last night. My wife was probably up 4 or 5 times last night in the middle of the night, giving him bottles, diaper changes. I think I got him a bottle at 4 or 5. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But it was mainly her. So I knew she was tired. I was tired. The church that we go to, they have an online platform where you could tune in on YouTube for a live sermon, and they're powerful sermons. And I was telling myself, I was compromising myself already, saying, you know what? I don't want to go to church because I know my wife's going to be tired. I want her to sleep in. I want the kids to not feel cramped in a church, and not I don't know their programs. I don't know if they have an area to watch to let the kids be occupied or entertained while we have the actual sermon experience. So I wrote down. I'm gonna read this now just to make sure this point's coming across well. But I wrote down some reasons, some excuses why I didn't want to go, and it was that the sermon that we were going to go to was at 9:30 a.m. That was my little baby's nap time. So that was already like, oh, well, now we're affecting his nap time. It's going to be a loud audience. It's like going to a concert in the morning. Not really a fan of that, but also for the kids. If the baby was on myself or my wife, he wouldn't enjoy that loud audience. We have 3 kids. Anybody knows who you have kids, when you're out in a public environment, sometimes it feels like, oh man, kind of want to get in and get out. That way the kids are not like, can I buy this? Can I do this? Can I do this? No, stay there. Don't do that. Right? So just that alone was kind of that mental thing too, telling me not to go to church. My son, Remy, he was up all night. So he's tired. I know my wife's tired. I wanted my wife to sleep in. And we haven't been to church in a long time. Feelings of judgment, right? The feelings of, they're going to know. They're going to know I'm not a churchgoer. Oh my God. So that was something else that was probably bigger than I thought. It was a new church. So the church we went to didn't really do it for us. That's why we only went once in a while. So this was a new church. We didn't know the people. We didn't know the experience. We didn't know who was going to be there, if we're going to be judged. So we just all these negative feelings, and then honestly feeling, am I an imposter? Am I a man of God? I don't write poems about it. I don't go on social media about it. Am I a man of God? Should I be stepping into a church, right? And I don't want, this is not about religion. This is an example of a story where I demonstrated courage. This is not about religion. Believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. That's fine. So there's all these feelings of I don't want to go. And then it was that 7 seconds of courage thing kicked in. I told myself, I know my wife's been talking about wanting to get back into religion, wanting to really dive in and pour into God. I experienced that all when I was a boy. So I had the benefit of learning about God and the different platforms and programs that God offers and the different things that are in his kingdom. Again, I want to be super vague about this kind of stuff because this is not a religious post. But then there was the reasons to go to church. It was immersion. My wife and I want to be better people. We want to feel great. Watching it on YouTube in our living room would be more comfortable. Absolutely. With our coffees, we could refill the coffee, maybe even have a graham cracker. But we weren't going to be immersed in it. And sometimes you need to really be a part of something, to be there, to physically be there, to get your energy there, to see other people's smiling faces, to shake hands. I shook so many hands today, it's ridiculous. So immersion was a big one. And I knew that was going to be important for me, but it was going to be more important for my wife to have that immersion because she's really the catalyst for us getting back into religion. And I honor that. That's fine. It's also, it would be creating a habit for us. If this time we went, that means next week it'd be easier to go because now there's a little bit less excuses. Oh, well, now it's not a new church. Now we have been to church in a while, so now it's okay. Now we can go back. Now we're used to the loud audience. Now we're used to right? So there's all these reasons that I started saying, yeah, I do want to go. We should go. And I thought, like, the number one thing holding me back was I was like, I wanted my wife to sleep in because she was up all night. And I don't know how she's going to react saying, hey, it's 7 o'clock. Let's get ready so we can be there at 9:30 with 3 kids, fed, dressed, looking good, feeling good, bottles ready. And she asked me when she got up, she said, do you want to do the live church or do you want to do, when I say live, I mean YouTube. Do you want to do the YouTube live or do you want to go there in person? And it was in that moment where all of these things kind of came to a boil. I was like, oh man, this is the moment. The 7 seconds of courage. And it wasn't about me. I was really thinking about my wife and my family. As the man, as the father, as the husband, that's something I can do, is cultivate a better relationship with God. Again, if you're not religious, that's fine. But it was the example of weighing all the uncomfortable stuff that we would put ourselves through, potentially being judged, potentially having the kids cry, potentially having people look at us. But at the same time, what would that give us? That would do so much for us because we're there in person for my wife, for my kids, creating a belief, creating habits. So I said, you know what, baby? I think it might be challenging for us. I know you got very little sleep, but I really want us to go. I think we should go. And she was like, yeah, okay, yep, let's do it. So we went. It was fantastic. The church itself was great. I'm not going to drop names. Church was absolutely fantastic, though. I actually will. It was Elevation Church. It was fantastic. The people there were awesome. The experience was great. There were so many great things about the church. Very welcoming faces. We were considered VIP, right, just because it was our first time going back there. So it was awesome. What was the best moment, though, that I had there was they were saying some powerful things, sharing some powerful stories in the sermon. The sermon was absolutely fantastic, too. But it was when I look over to my right and I see my wife next to me with tears in her eyes. Her face was just lit up and she had tears in her eyes because she was so appreciative of the message that was being sent. And I thought to myself, wow, is that something that I was able to create? Was a moment in her life where she could be clear about something, where she can have a close relationship with God. Because I took the 7 seconds of courage to say, we're going to church, right? I'm working out today. I'll do an extra mile and a half. We're going to church today. I'm going to post this video up, right? I'm barely going to edit this video, so it might be kind of rough to watch, but this is something that just impacted me. And it was more so in the presence of my wife and my 3 sons. I get to demonstrate what a good husband looks like. I get to demonstrate what a good father looks like, leading his family. And men, if you're out there listening to this, you get to have these opportunities every single day. Yes, you will play action figures. Yes, you will stay at the park an extra 15 minutes. You will say no to your children at the store when they're whining and fussing for a toy. You will say no to that extra dessert, right? Like those moments, even when you're going against the grain, that's still showing us 7 seconds of courage, because you're standing up to yourself about the reasons why you should do something and the reason why you shouldn't do something. Yeah, this is my time. I need to be better. If not for me, for the family. So that was a long-winded thought. But it's about courage, standing up for what you believe in. Even if you don't fully believe in it yet, if you feel like that could be the right path, I don't know, let me try, then take that path. That way you could at least have the question answered. Should I have went to church or should I not have went to church? I should have went to church, and I did. Absolutely phenomenal. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to incorporate more videos around this topic, around different mindset shifts, little insights, little nuggets that I start finding and start exemplifying throughout my day. I also want you guys to start looking up my Facebook page and Instagram, because I'm doing a lot more gratitude runs, where it's just a quick little video, me getting on, say, hey, what are you grateful for? I'm going to go for a run. When I come back, I'll share what I'm grateful for. So if you can do that too, go for a gratitude run. At the beginning of the run, ask yourself, what am I grateful for? And keep going the whole time you're running. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours for the ultra marathon running, days, whatever it is. Think about what you're grateful for. Just lock it in. Go for a walk. What are you grateful for? So the gratitude runs have been doing great. I've been getting some great feedback about the gratitude runs. My family is saying, oh, I'm grateful for this. One of my buddies says, man, I'm grateful for you just being out there in the Carolinas, dude, doing what you're doing. Thank you, right? So the gratitude runs are coming. More and more attention on gratitude, on being active, actually incorporating a physical exercise. There's doing something more with your body that you could also incorporate some brain work in, right? Being gratitude, 7 seconds of courage, asking yourself the whys. What does this all mean, right? Like tuning into all these senses. It's just a great embodiment of where I want to go in the future, and I'm hoping I'll see you there too. So thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button for more great content that's going to help you express and explore. Express and explore? I'm almost forgetting my catchphrase, but thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.